is the second part of the tutorial on the flowers assignment at North Hennepin CSI 1130-91, taught by Charlie Gordel. Now that we have our image printed to the applet, we can now begin drawing our first flower. So I'm going to X out of the applet. And let's see. So the first part of the flower is the stem. So it's always helpful when coding to write a comment. So I'm just going to say this is the stem for flower number 1. And then, so when we draw the stem, we're probably want the stem to be a vertical line. So, but first, before we do that, let's make the stem a color. So let's do g2d.set color. I'll just do new color 40. I'll just say 68, maybe 111. And the nice thing about the latest version of IntelliJ is there's actually this square here that shows the color that you set it to, and you can even click on it. It has this whole color wheel, so you can actually choose the color. So I think that looks brown, so I'll just choose. And then now let's draw our line, and remember that with lines, it's the first two parameters of draw line is the x and y coordinate for the first point of the line, and then the last two parameters are the x and y coordinates of the second point of the line. So we'll do g2d.draw line get width divided by 2, get width divided by 2, get height. Oh, and since we want, let's say we wanted the width, so if we want the top of the line to be, let's say right here, that's I'd say about 300 in the x direction. So then if we get width, if we do the command get width divided by 2, that would put us about, it would divide the screen in half, and then in half this way. And then to get to that 300 point, we would then subtract 660, and then we would want to get the height. We would want to set the y coordinate of that first point. So then we do get height divided by 2. And let's just say it's going to be a little less than half the total height, or it's going to be a little bit more than half the total height of the screen, of the applet screen, so we're going to add 100. And then since we have a vertical line, the width of the second point, it's just going to be, the second point's going to be the same x value as the x value of the first point. So we're just going to write get width divided by 2 minus 660 again. And then for the height of the second coordinate, we'd probably want the bottom of the stem, probably to be aligned with the bottom of our applet. So we can actually just write get height divided by 2, and then we can add 600, which is just the total height. Oh, I spelled height. Oh, I forgot to add the parentheses, the close parentheses. But the 600's just literally half the size of the screen. So now that we have this, let's just make sure that it runs and we have our stem printed to the screen. Success! We do have it printed to the screen. So now that we have that, now that we have that, let's draw our flower body. So this is the, I don't know why this is all in caps. This is the body for flower number 1. So let's look at the skills that he wants us to implement in this assignment. Here are the requirements. So he wants us to use draw a line, draw oval, draw rect, fill oval, fill rect, draw arc, draw polygon, fill polygon, but also draw string to write comments later. And we already did our anti-aliasing, and we already did our image class, get image, draw image, etc. So let's just make it rectangular, the flower body. So, and let's make it a different color. So we'll say g2d.set color. Not even gonna use RGB. I'll just do it one of Java's set colors, color.blue. And then now to draw the rectangle, I'm just going to do g2d dot, I'll say fill rect. And then if I want the rectangle to be in the center, or centered with the stem, I'd want to make the width about, let's say I'd want to make the dimensions of the flower 100 by 100, then I'd want the width to be, I'd want that x-coordinate, that left x-coordinate to be about 50, well actually 50 less than the x-coordinate of the first point of the line. So I would say get width divided by 2 minus 700, comma, get height divided by 2, and then for rectangles, it's the actual width. It's the width and the height, so 100 by 100. And then let's make sure that this is printed to the screen. Okay, perfect, it is. Let's say, though, that we wanted to add to this. Let's say that we wanted to draw an oval on top of this. Okay, so let's use another one of the skills. Let's try to make it, let's have it outline the oval instead of fill it in. So we'll use the command draw oval. But let's have it outlined in black. So g2d dot set color dot black. Okay. So then let's do g2d dot draw oval dot, or oops. And then we can remember that since we want it to be if we want it to be that same size as our rectangle, then we can just use the same dimensions that we used for fill rect. So we can actually just copy this and then paste. Then let's see if our oval's filled in, or if it's drawn. Yep, so we can see that it's outlined. Let's say we want to fill this in because it's going to be kind of hard to see. Let's just fill it in red. So g2d dot set color dot red, and then we can fill this in by g2d dot fill oval. And then remember, since it's the exact, if we wanted the exact same size as like the rectangle, we can just copy these dimensions here. Then paste, and then let's see if it's filled in. Yeah, so then it filled in the oval in red. And then after we're done with this part, we just need to remember to use our drawString method to write text above the flower, just saying, you know, you could create a name for it like box oval flower and say that you made a flower that you started with a box and then added an oval in it. It doesn't have to be very complicated. And then you can just add 3 more flowers. They don't have to be pretty. Mine doesn't actually look like an actual flower. The important thing is just to make sure that you're using all those skills that he has listed.